she sits. Has not run since the summer of 1992. Pretty rough, pretty bad shape. But I'm gonna see if I can bring her back to life. Won't be perfect, won't be show quality, but try to get her running. Looks nice there. Looks like some graveside flowers there. Somebody thought would be appropriate. It's been a home to many a snake and mouse and wasp and critter for a while. Moss growing on it. Rust growing on it. All right, let's see what the old engine looks like. Boom. Like how I did that. All right. Looks like everything's there. Not in the best of condition, but consistent with the rest of the truck. Let's see if she's locked up. Oh yeah. Locked up tighter than Alcatraz. Last time I opened it, a snake was living right up in there. Dropped out on my foot. Probably still around here somewhere. It's all right. I don't think it'll make the trip up to Kansas City. Yeah, so that's what I'm working with. That's the before picture. We'll get a better one after. Trying to get this thing cleaned out for Pete's sake. Who drinks all that Mick Ultra anyway? Starting fluid. Might need that later. I'm gonna hang on to that. Looks like Pat's shorts. Well, there she is. All loaded up and ready to go. I'll see if I can post some photos that Bill took while we were trying to get it on there. We'll say it was not easy, but it wasn't too bad either. We got her done. Hopefully it'll ride. Got the hood strapped down because the latch is gone and doesn't work. And then got a strap up across there because the passenger side door doesn't latch either. But ready to go. Rock and roll. Well, here we are. She made it. Had a little bit of trouble along the way with it sliding over, shifting to this side. As you can see, it's all the way up against the right side wheel well on the trailer. And then also this tie down, the wheel kept spinning and the tie down kept wanting to spin off. But other than that, survived the trip all right. No major problems, rode pretty smooth. And we're gonna get her downloaded, put right there in the shop, and put back together.
Fixing old Blackie. But he's facing the wrong way. So, Dad has the Bobcat, and he is gonna grab old Blackie, and he's gonna, boost up. Back wheel's having problems. Yeah. Blackie, man.
All right, day one of actually working on old Blackie. We got it about 2 months ago, brought it up here. And I finally have a chance to start working on it now. So let's just walk around real quick, see what we got to work with. Obviously, in the back, we have everything is pretty much rusted up and non-operational, including the brakes, the wheels, the tires locked up, the transmission's locked up. Everything is rusted out, nothing works. Most of it's not even fixable. All right, coming around, looking in the cab. So what's been bugging me for many, many years, messing with my OCD since I was a little kid, is this cab always sat crooked. And right there is the culprit. Right here. Cab mount is rusted out and it's settled down on there due to being in the proximity of the battery box, which has always been a bad design in my opinion of putting a battery under there, because it gets all the corrosion and rust up in there, got onto the cab mount, and the whole thing dropped down. So that's what we're working with. Brakes don't work, clutch doesn't work, transmission doesn't work, none of the electrical works. So that's what we got going on there. Of course, that battery's old. All right, coming around here, engine. Everything is there. It's all intact. Of course, try to turn it. It's locked up tighter than Alcatraz, so it won't turn. So our first step once we start working on it is going to be to try to get that freed up. So coming around this way, that's the cord. Of course, busted up, dented up, rusted out. That mount is falling off right there. I used this some of this blaster for the first time right there. I'm going to use a lot more of it. If you want to go ahead and buy stock in the company right now, it'd probably be a good idea because we're using a lot of that. All right, coming around. Of course, fender's dented, bent in. Up here, it's bent up, bent in. Right here, you can see where the tire was sliding because it won't turn. It's either the brakes locked up or somehow I don't know. I think the brakes are locked up because the drive shaft was turning. So we got that going for us. Inside here, if you look down here, right here, one of my favorite post-production modifications this thing has is ankle vents. So you're not going to have sweaty ankles when you're driving it because you got the good vent right there. Other than that, coming around, you can see there is no key right there. So that's going to be fun. We're just going to hotwire it though, like we stole it. Other than that, window openers don't work, glass broken, door openers doesn't work, front glass broken, back glass is actually intact. That might be the one thing. It's got moss growing. So we're just going to clear coat over that and keep it. All right. That's where we're at. And we'll go into step one of trying to get this engine to turn over. All right, so what I'm doing now is, because I am not smart, I'm going to label all these 1 through 6, because I'm kind of like Dory, and when I go to plug them back in, I'm not going to remember the right order. So 1, 2, 3, it's this terrible 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if I was really smart, I'd label the other end of the wire too, but I'm not that smart, so I'm just not going to do that for now. But, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out each one of these spark plugs. The wires look okay for now, other than being a little bit rat-chewed right there. Distributor, haven't even opened that yet. I'm going to leave it alone for now. I'm assuming there's lots of corrosion in there. And I'm going to assume the coil is okay too and gets spark, even though these wires are kind of crispy. But that's the plan. So, number 1, pull the wire off, find the right size plug. Yep. Nope. Son of a gun. That might be about as far as we can get today. You son of a gun. How the heck? that one. It's bigger. I don't know. That doesn't even fit in there. Okay, so first of many trips to the auto parts store for a socket. Think it's gonna work? What kind of wagers you want to make on this?
$20.
20 bucks?
I don't have 20 bucks.
Okay. We're about to find out. Yep, that's the one. How did you know? How did you know? All right. Out she comes. Probably going to be first of many busted knuckles too, but you know what I'm going to do is get an extender filler so that I don't have to reach so far down in there. Damn it. So this is going to tell us a lot when I get this pulled out of here about the condition of this engine the last time it ran. How fouled up and nasty. Look at that. It's brand new. It is brand new. It must have just got put in there when this thing got killed. That's pretty darn awesome.
So the engine's still good? The engine's still good then?
Maybe. Let's see. Okay, number 1 is good. Any wagers on 2?
Well, if 1's still good, I'm gonna say 2 is as well.
Jiminy Christmas! I need to get some of that magic blaster down in there. Son of a gun. Dang old thing. Dang old little. All right. What we got? This one is a little bit scoured. It's got some carbon buildup on it, you can see right there. But not bad. Still not bad. It's not brand new like this one, which makes me wonder if that cylinder was even firing the last time it ran. Maybe it was a straight 5-banger. No, I'm not going to spray that down in there.
Whenever you use this, it's really strong. Lots of gas. Hurts my nose.
Okay, that one was loosened up a little bit. Okay. Oh, that's got some carbon built up on it. That's making me think that maybe, at least there's not a lot of oil or stuff like that in there. This one is brand new, which makes me think that cylinder was not firing. This cylinder here, right in that area, is not firing. Of course, nothing on this thing is firing since about June of 1992. It's the last time anything fired on this machine. Oh, wasp nest came out of that one. Yep, same as the other ones. Gap, everything looks good. It's just got some like white powder, dry carbon buildup on it. It's a good thing I labeled these because my dory memory would not remember how to put it back in. And then it'd be firing 2, 8, 6, 1, 5. There's not even an 8 in there.
You would find it.
That's when they all fire at the same time. Ones on the back were a lot looser. All right. So the plan. Yeah, that was pretty good too. So it was actually really just a 4-banger. It's a 4-cylinder. All right. Enough of comedy. I keep up, quit my day job. All right. So what I'm going to do is stand by. Have some Marvel Magical Mystery Oil. Actually, it's just Marvel Mystery Oil. I don't know what's in it. It's a mystery. But I'm sure it's good for the environment. And when it ends up on the floor and all that, it's going to be just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour that down each one of these cylinder holes and let it sit in there and soak. And try to eat up some of that carbon and rust and corrosion and gunk and nastiness that's in there. So, my plan for success is to try to get it in there like that. That'll work. And depending on where those pistons sit in there, based on the last time it was shut down, will depend on how much each one of these cylinders take of this Magical Mystery Oil. Get that out of there so that I don't dump this kind of crap down in the dang engine. Not going to help it? Probably wouldn't hurt it. All right. What I don't want to do is make a huge mess on the floor with this red juice that'll look like some scene from Murder, She Wrote, which is probably what it's going to look like anyway when I'm done, because as soon as I go to crank this engine over for the first time, all of that Magical Mystery Oil that's down in these cylinders is going to get spit out. It's going to come blasting out. It's going to end up on the floor anyway. And that's going to look like not only a Smurf got murdered in this shop, but it'll look like I poisoned it too. So far, they're all taking a lot, which makes me wonder what the heck's going on around here. We got too much crap in the way. I need a workbench to set all this stuff. Here we go. Nope. Gosh darn. How much is this going to take? I heard a bloop, 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 like it was coming to the top. I think we're good there. Good news is I got another one.
Eating up all of your mystery oil.
I don't know what's in it. Where's the other bottle? Oh, right over there already. All right, got the other bottle. I guess I just keep adding a little bit at a time until it starts flowing back out. I feel like there's a lot in there. Gosh darn. For Pete's sake.
I think it's just completely empty.
Well, a cylinder. Ah, that one's running out. That one's full. Let's keep adding.
Those three look full.
Hmm?
Those three look like they're full. I don't know. I'm not the professional.
I am not a professional either. By any stretch of the imagination. The last of it in the last one. Okay. Oh, that one's full. And now the starter is covered with magic mystery oil too. Which should make it run great.
Hey, it's magic, so
Yeah. I don't know what's in it.
I don't think even the producers know.
Dinosaur bones. That's what's in it. Oh, there you go. All right, now I am going to throw these back in just so that while I let that sit, normally you want to let it sit overnight. But I'm going to Huntsville, Alabama. So I'm going to be gone for about a week. And when I come back next week, we'll go to step 2. So Ian, do you know the 3 things that an engine needs in order to run?
Oil.
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
It'll run without oil, not for very long.
Okay. So
3 things it needs to run that we're going to have to make sure we got set up and validated on this thing.
the rest of the engine.
Hmm?
The rest of the engine.
Did you say air?
I said the rest of the engine.
Did you say fuel? You would be right. It needs fuel. It needs spark. And it needs compression.
I said all that.
Yes, that's what I thought you said.
Yeah, no, that's what I said, yeah.
Fuel, spark, and compression are the 3 things that we need to verify. If we have fuel, spark, compression, and we can get Alcatraz opened up here and get it turning, then there's no reason why it shouldn't start. Fuel, spark, compression. So these are the sparkulators, spark plugs. That's the coil, that's the distributor. So what happens is power from the battery comes to the coil, feeds the distributors. There's a little whirly deal in there that whirls, and when it makes contact with each one of these, it sends a spark to each one of these spark plugs in sequence. It's got to be in the right sequence, and then each one of these pistons fires in sequence. It turns a camshaft out of pistons, go up and down, turn camshaft runs a rod down into the transmission, turns transmission, goes back via the drive shaft, turns the wheels, turns the engine.
All right.
So there'll be a test later.
Now we gotta play memory and replug them.
Okay, what's this called?
Spark plug.
Sparkulator.
Sparkulator. Okay.
Okay. What's this?
The sparkulator cord.
It's a fire hose.
No. Okay. Cool.
Fire hose.
That was
Distributor
my
coil.
second guess.
What is this?
Oh darn. The engine.
The engine, okay. And this?
The water tower.
Carburetor?
Carburetor. Yeah. Okay,
And this
cool.
is, do not put water in there. If water got down in there, then that's probably part of the problem that we have right now. This is an air filter. It's an oil bath air filter, which is meh. But back in the 50s when this was made, they didn't have paper air filters, so they had some kind of system that was screwy. So
we don't really need that.
Well, you need an air filter, otherwise you suck garbage down into the engine and then dust out the engine, and then the engine goes to crap. So
Do we need like an oil air filter, or can we just get?
no, but I can get it. Yeah, you can get a regular modern day air one, and then below that, what is that?
Okay, well now I gotta like go over here and see. Here, I can grab the camera.
Down below that, what we're talking about, since you're like zeroed in on spark plug number 3. That's all we've seen this whole time.
Okay, so back around here. That's what he's talking about.
Right there.
These weird pipes going on here. I'm gonna say that's the air pipes.
Carburetor?
The carburetor pipes.
Carburetor, right. So fuel comes in here along this line, goes through this filter. In theory, hasn't done it in a long time. Goes into there, goes down there, and gets distributed down into the different pistons. When the fuel hits the spark ignites the fuel, pushes the piston. But it comes down through this, which I should jerk that off there. There we go. So if you look down in the top of that, is this, not seized up, but really close. If this thing's set for another couple years, it would be seized up.
That's a good thing we got it when we did.
Yeah, it's going to need some TLC before I try to start firing on it, but it'll be all right. So, down there, generator. In a newer truck, they have what's called an alternator, but that's a generator. Radiator. Right in there is where the I want to say thermometer, not thermometer. I'll come back to that. This is a water pump. And this is what doesn't turn. That I'm going to try to get to turn by putting that magical mystery oil down in those cylinders. So if I can get that to turn, that means all the pistons are moving. Probably what's going to have to happen is I have to take this off and get down in there and the rockers and all that kind of stuff and get those loosened up and whack on them with a hammer, which you're not supposed to do, but so that's where we're at. Step 1, complete. And we'll let that oil sit down in there. Let it soak down into the starter real good there, because starters like that kind of stuff. But then, yeah. We'll come back next week and try it again.